Ready? Hello, family. This is Reynard, Boyce, the wealth builder, the owner of Temple Mortgage LLC. In this broadcast, I want to talk to women, particularly women. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm going to talk to single persons, with my focus being on women. I'm going to entitle this broadcast, Choose Wisely. Choose Wisely. I've noticed in the last couple of years of my practice that I have a periphery of women, single individuals, mainly Afro-American women, purchasing homes with boyfriends. That's an issue for me. As a parent of two daughters, father of two daughters, more so than that, as a Christian, as a minister, as a businessman, as a professional, as a corporate owner, as a business partner. I've seen the destructive elements when you don't have things concretely delineated or written. In other words, when you don't have a firm operating agreement. Not being married, not having the instrument of the covenant, the instrument of covenant. And I know I get tired of these TikTok videos. I'm gonna try to maintain my composure with these men advocating and some of these crazy lunatic women, one in particular, one Karen Hunter, but I won't go off that rant today, who advocating against marriage. Men stating that men lose in divorce. Well, they do. I'll agree to that. But I think there are ways to mitigate those circumstances. We may have entered a realm because of the 50% plus rate of divorce. We may be in a realm where we will have to institute prenuptial agreements. That's a radical thought, but I think we're there. I know we're there. Good for the first 5 to 7 years, especially considering the fact that most marriages dissipate within the first 5 years. So I guess it's safe to say if we can make it past 5, then there's a strong possibility we're going to make it. And if we don't, you take yours, I take mine. What I brought separately is still mine. What we accumulated together, we split and have some reasonable expectation of child support and or spousal support. That can be discussed, and I think we're at a point where we're going to have to be able to discuss those things rationally. However, or in addition, you don't want to be married, but you want to buy a house with someone. You will never be more married than you'll be to that mortgage company. Let me help you, baby. You're going to be married to that deed and to that note more than to that deed. I did a lecture at a church one time entitled that A Marriage is a Covenant. I give a shout out to the great Bishop Kim Walter Brown over in Chesapeake, Virginia. I did that lecture at his church one night, that sermonette, that a mortgage is a covenant. And a mortgage is a covenant. It is very much a covenant. It says covenant agreement. Pull it out one day, read it, ask for your parents, or just Google it. It will say covenant agreement. So you're never more so in a binding covenant, legally binding covenant with some very stringent ramifications than when you buy a house together. What are some of these possible ramifications if things go wrong? Well, let's just say y'all break up and he decided he wanted to bring his chick up in the house. Or she want to bring her Negro. What can you do about it? Oh, you gonna fight? Now the police gonna come. Now somebody going to jail, and it's probably going to be you, brother, but it could be you, sister. You know, you're putting your hands on a man. So now you got that rigmarole. He want to bring folks in the house that you don't want in the house. He move his relatives in, his mooching relatives. You move your fat mama in there. All these different ramifications if the relationship goes left. And I know your mama ain't got to be fat. I mean fat in the heart, you know, coming in causing problems. You see? Oh, now you went left, he don't want to pay, or one of the parties doesn't want to pay. Now you stuck paying the mortgage. Because see, it's all good when it's good, but it's not good when it's not good. And there's no, see, one thing Jesus said, because the whole writ of divorce came because the men of that time were divorcing women. Moses gave them the writ of divorce to protect the women. And Jesus reiterated, said it was because of the hardness of your heart that Moses gave you the writ of divorce. God never advocated divorce, but because women were losing. They were throwing the women away. They got old, they were throwing them away. And so the writ of divorce gave some legal protection, some legal covering. It gives legal covering and protection. Not that you should be married for legal covering and protection, but a marriage does bring a type of legal covering as well as a spiritual covering. You buy a house with somebody, you're totally naked and very much exposed. It causes persons to file bankruptcy, foreclosures ensue, not inclusive of all the other ramifications that come as a result of you filing bankruptcy, or your credit gets shot. Now, Beyonce made a song about, what's something about put a ring on it? Mm-hmm. If you like it that much or something, what she said? If you like it, put a ring on it. Uh-huh. So you mean to tell me you're going to let him get in a house with you without a ring on it? She said if you like it, whatever it is, I guess her, the woman, you love this vessel, love it that much, put a ring on it. How much more so should you put a ring on if you're going to buy a house together? The biggest financial investment that you will ever make is a home purchase. Unless you buy a jet plane or a huge yacht. It's the most personal investment. Do not buy a house unless it's an investment property with someone that is not your husband or wife. And if it's an investment property, have a strong LLC designed by an attorney with a very strong and rigid operating agreement. And make sure that the person is bringing as much to the table or as nearly as much to the table as you are. Don't buy a house with a broke person. Do not let a person bring their wishes and their dreams and their ambitions, and that's all they got. I got a wish, I got a dream. Then when you develop the wish and the dream, then you come see me. Because wishes and dreams don't make mortgage payments. Okay? I'm pleading to you, I'm talking to you as a father, as an uncle, as a business owner, as someone who's been in this game 30 years, and I've seen the destructive results of persons buying houses, and that means not your daughter, not your son, not your uncle, two brothers, no. Unless it's an investment property. And the terms and the operating agreement are firm, and there's monies put in place, there are reserves, and all kinds of prerequisite and precautions that should be in place, and that money should be fixed, that it cannot be touched or removed. I give you a laundry list of precautions. Tune into the next broadcast. We'll talk about it more.